Hello, and welcome to Pokemon HeartGold. I picked up a Pokemon that I should pop in and grab. I off screen went and caught myself a Ghastly. Ooh, Jolly. That's horrible. And I'm going to throw the experience share on that. Uh, there is a trade here in Kanto that requires a hunter. So if I put the experience share on Ghastly for a while, it will eventually have enough experience to evolve into Hunter, and I'll be able to do that. The first in-game trade person I will come across, I don't have the Pokemon that they want yet. So I'm going to go just straight through. The way I like to go through Kanto in the second half of this game, or it's probably less than half, but the second region of the game, is I like to solve their power crisis immediately and then move on to doing uh, like progressing through the game as if it were the original games. So go to Pallet Town and then go through the towns one by one. I have Sandshrew with me right now because there are a couple places where I can cut a tree along this route. There are some trainers that I cannot avoid, such as this one. Unfortunately, we're still a long way away from the Pokemon that will replace Onix, but the first couple Pokemon we get here are good. Golduck could very easily take me out with a water move. That's why I'm trying Stone Edge, because that's my most damage, but thankfully it used Zen Headbutt, which will not do much to me. My experience is a little bit different than it was from when I stopped last time. Uh, I had some unlucky crits on the ship. Ghastly is going all the way from level 6 to something. It doesn't matter what Ghastly knows, but if I were raising it, I wouldn't care about Spite. Onyx has nothing for a Sand Slash. Sand Slash's physical defense is phenomenal. Sand Tomb kinda sucks. It's ground type wrap. I'll try Iron Tail because it can drop defense. If I miss, Onyx is gonna faint. 4 more defense. And now Ghastly's going to get several levels up while Onyx's health is still beeping. Excuse me. If I'm not terribly mistaken, Machamp is also level 55 and is closer to a level up than Onyx. That is in fact the case, so switch and continue on. So there's a obvious item over here. Snap that. A light clay, which increases the duration of things like uh, light screen and reflect if you use them. So to get to the power plant with fighting the least number of trainers, you need cut. Flash cannon is a steel type move. I'm gonna cut a few things here so that I can get into this Pokemon Center. Because to actually get to the power plant properly, I need Surf. So I will switch out the Sandshrew for uh, Sandshrew for Totodile. Yeah, this is a power plant south of the Pokemon Center. So we're hearing that there may or may not have been a thief at the power plant that is south of here. I'm going to give you pretty good odds that there was in fact a thief. And of course, because we're a 10-year-old child, it will fall upon us to apprehend them. Sometimes I forget that I'm playing HeartGold and then I encounter a Mankey and I remember. Golden. I don't want to use a repel. I'm going to use a repel. I should also go over to Mount Moon today for a few reasons. Alright, so you come into the power plant. There's a police officer there who is completely useless. Another police officer up here, also useless. The manager is upset that the part has been stolen. They get a phone call saying that someone in Cerulean is looking suspicious, and the police ask me to take care of it. The trade is in the power plant. Someone is offering a Magneton for a Dugtrio. I cannot get Dugtrio yet. Well, maybe through the Safari Zone, but there's an easier way to get Dugtrio coming up. All I have to do is complete this first side quest here in Kanto. So, they said that the suspicious character was loitering around the gym. Bob! Oops, I'm so sorry. You're not hurt, okay? I'm very busy. No time for talking with you. Not good for me if seen by somebody. Oh no, you've seen me already. I make big mistake. Hey you, forget you see me, okay? You seen, heard, know nothing, okay? Bye. Bye-bye, go. And he leaves. So I can follow him. He will go up this way. And he pushes between these two people. Oh no! Hiding I was, but you did me found in no time. Me only one from another country. Yet, no big business, okay? Think I did, stop the energy, big panic, and unlucky for here people. Secret it is my mission, so tell you I not. But, if when you do versus me, a man I be in mine secret you tell, you understand? Battle begin we do. So, despite dismantling Team Rocket again, there is one more Team Rocket member to fight in this game, and it is this random grunt. Air Cutter does big damage to Machamp with a crit, but Payback does even bigger damage to Golbat without. Nightshade is a horrible move, but better than Lick, on a Ghastly at least. Eh, no, 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 believe it I can't. Strong very much be you, match I am not for you. Or something like that. Okay, tell you my secret will I. Machine parts steal by me, hide it I did in Gym of the Cerulean. Near inflatable tube put it I did, look for Gym at. But you forget me not, beat you for sure will Team Rocket. Come from Johto will they, mine allies, yes, with a revenge they are. You say what? Team Rocket bye bye go go? Broken up it is, says you? Oh no, should I do what now on from me? Okay, I my country go home. Meet Team Rocket I will. Goodbye, so long. And you can actually find him in uh, Black and White in Unova. Unova is his home country. But there's not Team Rocket in Unova. So if you come around here and check the inflatable tube, picked up the black item that was by the pool. It's a part from a machine. Regrettably, I cannot simply fly to the Pokemon Center outside of Rock Tunnel or the power plant itself. I have to make my way back over there. And with Totodile in my party instead of Sandshrew, I cannot cut around the route. So I may have to battle another trainer or two, but that's not a big deal. Let me turn off the running shoes and hop down here, because he will face towards me if I'm wearing the shoes. Let's not be stubborn, just use the repel. And surf back down to the power plant for the second, I'll be at the power plant a few more times. So, with the machine part in our inventory, come talk to the manager. He fixes it up. Where? Yes, it's running. Where? Aha, thanks. Here, go ahead and take this TM as a reward. And he gives you one of the several charge beam TMs you can get in the game. So, just to show you, Dugtrio, trade for Magneton. I do want to trade, but I don't have a Dugtrio yet. We'll get there. So now, with the power back in Kanto, our next destination is Lavender Town. So we will come east from Saffron City. While I'm here in Saffron, I will get Sandshrew back out because I don't need Surf for a little bit. Actually, no, Totodile does not know cut anymore. I often teach Totodile cut. But for some reason, it's still no scratch. If I don't need Strength and Rock Smash, then I should teach Totodile cut too, so that I can swim and cut at the same time. Oh, while I'm here, let's talk to this guy. I got it. You wanted this. TM29 is Psychic. May lower the target's special defense. Mr. Psychic is a holdover from the previous games, and he still gives you the same TM that he did then. I don't know what I would teach Psychic to, but actually I have a pretty good idea of what I would teach it to. Ideally, I would get some more of the trade Pokemon before I start battling all the trainers here in Kanto, because, they'll need to catch up in levels if I'm going to use them. The wild Pokemon in Kanto are sometimes evolved, even when they shouldn't be, and will be lower levels. So don't expect to be training on a lot of wild Pokemon in Kanto. If you need to train, just rebattle the Elite Four. If you beat them once to get here, then it is feasible that you could beat them again. I'll just Karate Chop. The Intimidate shouldn't matter. I don't think the crit did either. Level 16. And Gentleman Milton has been defeated, giving me 9,000 Poké-Dollars. So, the Pokemon Tower has been replaced by a radio tower. And this guy was concerned about losing his job because there was no power. The director of this radio tower. So he gives me the expansion card so I can listen to radio programs here in Kanto. And that is what is necessary to access the parts of Kanto that I have not yet been to. I have 9 Ultra Balls. That should be okay. I'm going to try and catch a Pokemon. So let us return now to where we started this episode, Vermilion City. And I'm going to come over here, still ignoring my mother. And if I come up this way, we find ourselves a large Pokemon sleeping peacefully. It looks so content. There is one Snorlax in this game, rather than the 2 that were blocking separate locations before. We can actually get to Fuchsia without waking up the Snorlax, because we can go other ways. So, to wake up the Snorlax, you have to open up the Pokegear, go to the radio, and move it somewhere around the top middle to get the Pokeflute, which will wake up Snorlax. Now, Snorlax is not an in-game trade. I cannot use it in this playthrough, sadly. Try Vital Throw. And hopefully not knock it out. This Snorlax is the only source of leftovers in the game. Darn it. Snorlax has a lot of health and fantastic special defense. Its physical defense is not quite so high. I want to catch this Snorlax so that I can have its leftovers. A Pokemon with leftovers is a little bit more difficult to catch because they're getting health back after every turn. So, Karate Chop has a high critical hit chance, which makes me not want to use it against Snorlax. We saw that a Vital Throw is a one-hit KO, and Cross Chop absolutely would be as well. So I'm going to continue trying to whittle it down just a little bit with Payback, and with any luck, try and chuck a ball at it while it's in red health. I'm gonna throw one now, actually. Snorlax is a decent candidate for a heavy ball if you're given any black apricorns to Kurt. It's also a decent option for if it's nighttime, you can use dusk balls. At night they have a 4 times catch rate. I'm not going to, as much as I want to catch this Snorlax, I'm not going to use my Master Ball on it. Good lord, Giga Impact was unnecessary. Unfortunately, looking at my move sets, actually, it just used Giga Impact, which means it needs to recharge, and Hypnosis missed. So he's just going to use... Oh no, he's using Block. He wanted to make sure that... it's a slow burn. The multiplier for him being asleep is greater than the multiplier of him having a little bit lower health. So, Ghastly actually got to help out before I get rid of it. I allowed myself to use Ghastly to help catch it because catching it is not required for progression. I could just defeat it instead. So, using Hypnosis on it does not break the rules. So, with the capture of Snorlax, we can now reach the other side of the region. There is construction south of Fuchsia, so it is not possible, and there's still the pass you have to jump down between Mount Moon and Cerulean, so it is required to go through Diglett Cave to get to the other half of Kanto. So I took the leftovers. I don't know what I'm going to put them on yet. Of the Pokemon I currently have, Machamp has the highest HP, but that doesn't mean I necessarily want the leftovers on it. The next thing I'm going to do is come into the Pokemon Fan Club. The man here who used to give you the bike voucher will instead give me a rare candy if I get through his spiel about being perhaps enjoying Pokemon a little too much. So, oh, I need to actually talk to the person in Saffron first. That's my bad. I forgot. It's been a while since I've done this part of the game. So if I come up here, in Generation 1, the copycat's house was at the north part of town, but they had to move because they tore down their house for the magnet train. So, you know, for the sake of rail, they tore down a family's house. And the copycat who canonically received the Polka Doll from Red 3 years ago lost it in Vermilion City, and the Polka Doll that the fan in here had is that same one. So now that I've talked to the girl, I can come in here. She asked me to take the Poké Doll back to the girl and says they'll catch a fairy of their own one day. After doing that, when you come outside, you'll encounter Steven Stone, champion from Hoenn. Says the trainers he's battled have the same look, and he will tell you about either Latias or Latios, depending on what version you're playing. It will be a roaming Pokemon like the Aquatic legendaries. It will roam around Kanto. And that is... Steven is the source of the only in-game trade in this game that I will not be doing. You have to beat the final battle with Red to be able to do that trade, and once I've beaten Red, the challenge is over, so... But he will trade you a Fortress for his Beldum. The only way to get Beldum in this game. So... Alright, so in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you could not fly to Victory Road or Indigo Plateau and then fly to the other region. So until you did this and got the pass to go on to access the magnet train, you could not freely travel between the regions because the ship doesn't run on every day. Now you can just fly, so the magnet train doesn't matter as much, but it is still there. The next thing I will do is I will actually go through Diglett Cave, and I'm not going to uh, use a repel because I have to catch a Diglett or a Dugtrio so that I can trade for Magneton. I have Sandshrew with me right now, which is what I want because there are cut trees on the other side of the tunnel. There's also bots in my chat. Goodbye. Hey, apparently people can get rewards by watching me. I didn't opt into that, but okay. It doesn't even say, this spot doesn't even say best viewers. It says AI viewers. That's even less what I want. There are hidden items all over the place, but I'll worry about them when I'm actually progressing through the region properly. So here's Diglett's Cave, and here's Cameron the photographer. No, it's the guy who looks like him and is surprised about Diglett being in Diglett's Cave. So, Diglett can have Arena Trap, which would prevent me from running away if they do. You can find Dugtrio itself down here, and just be able to trade it right away. But I will catch a Diglett and level it up with the experience share when I can. There's no need to wait for the 5% chance that I get a Dugtrio. But that Diglett is at least already level 19 rather than the level 15 one I got before. Diglett is still here to make Lieutenant Surge laughably easy if you don't have another way to make a poor gym leader laughably easy. Hello Evie, welcome back to the stream. I'm doing okay. Actually, I was thinking of someone else. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing okay. How are you? And the Carbos here. You can boost the Pokemon speed. There's this house, which still has the Nugget guy, who gives you a Nugget. At this point, I don't really need Nuggets for money, but it's still nice that he gives me something. And in this gatehouse is one of Professor Oak's aides. He gives me the Sacred Ash, one of two you can get in the game, that revives all fainted Pokemon. The other one is held by Ho-Oh. My favorite Pokemon is Jolteon, which is not an in-game trade, so I'm not using it in this playthrough, but uh, when I can, I use it. Charizard is a solid Pokemon. I do like Pokemon cards. I haven't collected any in a long time, but I do have a significant collection of the older ones. Okay, so to progress through Kanto in a more or less natural, as I would if it were the original game. Let's start in Pallet Town. Let's talk to some people in Pallet Town while we're here. Like Red's mom. Hi, Red's been away. He hasn't called either, so I have no idea where he is or what he's been doing. They say no news is good news, but I do worry about him. If you come up to Red's room, apparently he was here at a point when the Wii was out, even though the Wii was not in the original games. So either his mom just upgraded his gaming console while he was away for the heck of it, or he has been back at some point since becoming champion. There's Daisy, Blue's sister. We learned that he's the gym leader in Viridian, but is not often there. None of these aides give me anything for talking to them. Professor Oak uh, is surprised that I haven't gotten any Kanto Gym badges and will offer to evaluate my Pokedex. I am not interested in graphics at this time. And let us start battling some trainers. These ace trainers outside of Pallet Town were thankfully not there 3 years ago because they would have crushed a new trainer. Ivysaur is absorbing light for a solar beam, which thankfully gives me a free turn to finish it off. Ideally, Ghastly will evolve around the time that we reach Pewter City, because that's where I can trade it. That's where I can trade the Haunter, that is. Starmie is part Psychic type, so if I can actually manage to hit it with a payback, that will certainly finish it off. Or I could just hit myself in confusion every turn forever and get taken out by a blizzard. Let's just send out Billy to take it out. Truth be told, I don't know if there's a way to heal in Pallet Town. I know there's no PC there. In Mirror Coat reflects special moves and deals double the damage back. Not really into moves like that. Confuse Ray is pretty decent. Most enemy Pokemon in-game would not switch out anyway, so Mean Look isn't that important. We're going to find out if there's a way to heal in Pallet Town. I can't sleep in Red or Blue's beds, and talking to the people who live in those houses will not give me an option to either. But in Elm's lab, you can check the PC to heal. Here, it's just email. Which means if I want to heal my fainted Pokemon, I have to go up to a different place, such as Viridian, and then come back. Machamp is more than capable of taking out a random Ace Trainer's Starmie if it doesn't hit itself in confusion every turn. Why was one of my programs requesting my location? I'm not okay with that. Alright, let's try this again. So based on purely Johto traders that you can rematch, there's a lot of open space, certain days and times that with only Johto trainers alone, you have no one to rematch. But there are a lot of trainers whose numbers you can get here in Kanto as well, and it more or less fills out everywhere, so that whatever time or day you're playing, you can rematch someone, though the Elite Four is just still better experience in almost every case. Absol is a dark type, so of course, Muscle had no problem with that. I shouldn't have to use Dodrio, but Alakazam is kind of scary. So I'll just send out Dodrio and easily take it out. I didn't need Fly. Drill Peck would have been more than sufficient. Is Trainer French. And Ghastly is now level 20. Evolves at or before level 25. Gengar is actually one of my favorites as well, but I have to trade it away as a Haunter. It is weak. Jinx is weak to Iron Tail, but its physical defense is such that my other moves that are more accurate should be sufficient. The flinch was lucky. Magmar I have super effective moves against. Luckily the Stone Edge hit. Brock does give me the I won't teach a Sucker Punch. Brock gives me the TM for Rock Slide in this game, which would be does good damage, chance to flinch, and is more accurate than some other moves, rock type moves. But uh, wouldn't want to teach it to Onyx. I don't want to use TMs on a Pokemon that is not a permanent member of my team. Up to this point, I've been using Onyx because I only have at max 4 team members prior to the Elite Four, but we will very shortly be getting more. I imagine before the stream ends today, I will get both the trades in Pewter City and the one at the power plant. Pidgeot, huh? Ash caught a Pidgeotto in like the first couple episodes of the anime, and then it didn't become a Pidgeot until like the end of for like an entire season. You'd think the number of times he used it, it would have had the necessary experience to evolve. But for one reason or another, it didn't. Sure, Charizard ended up disobeying him, but at least he evolved one of his Pokemon throughout the series. What kind of Pokemon are you? Says evolution's the solution if you're gonna win. I mean, it's talking about Dratini, but the concept still applies. This right here, this big building, is a trainer house. Uh, there's one guy in there that you can battle no matter what, named Cal. He has the fully evolved uh, Johto starters. But the actual function of the trainer house was that anyone who you connected with through the Pokewalker peripheral would whatever team they had when you connected with them, you would be able to battle in the trainer house, and winning against the trainers there gives you 1 BP, so it's another way to get battle points if you don't like the battle frontier. You can rematch the trainers in there once per day. Since I am not using the Pokewalker, the only trainer that will be in there ever for me is Kel, but that is one I could get each day if I were willing to do so. Now, Cal is intended to be the type of trainer you would battle if you were battling competitively. So he doesn't just have the moves that he would have. He doesn't just have the level up moves for those Pokemon. He has diverse move sets and held items that go beyond a citrus berry, like most bosses in the game will have only on their ace. Like his Typhlosion, I think it's a Slackberry it's holding. So if you get its health low enough, it will outspeed and kill everything. Alright, Ghastly has reached level 25, which is the level at which it evolves. So when I go back to heal Onyx of its health and poison, I will switch the then Haunter for Diglett and put the experience share on it to start leveling it up. I mean, I suppose I don't have to go back since Rocky just leveled up, so it will not be the lead Pokemon anymore, but I will not prevent Ghastly's evolution because I cannot trade it as a Ghastly. Hands up. And wants to learn Shadow Punch because it is a Hunter now and has hands. Shadow Punch is still a physical move, but in 99% of cases it would be better than Nightshade still. Now Haunter is actually a good Pokemon though if you're hunting the roaming Pokemon. You can prevent them from fleeing with Meat and Look. You can do fixed damage to them by using Nightshade, so you won't accidentally take them out with a crit. You can put them to sleep with Hypnosis. You get to like level 38 or 39, pop up a Repel, so you won't run into other Pokemon instead, and just give it a shot. There are other Pokemon that are decent for trying to catch them as well, but I typically use Hunter when I'm hunting them. It also doesn't hurt to have like a Scyther or another Pokemon with False Swipe so that you can guarantee get it down to exactly 1 HP over the course of several cases of finding them. But I healed, but I did not switch out the Hunter. Let's take the experience share. Come to the PC and switch around. Not just deposit. That takes too long. Move Pokemon. And I can grab the Diglett that has Arena Trap. You know, if you switched the Haunter and Diglett's abilities so that the Haunter had Timid and the Diglett had Jolly, that would actually be stellar. I mean, Diglett doesn't need a nature that boosts its speed, but it doesn't matter to really lower its special attack. And Haunter should not have its special attack lowered by a Jolly. A wild Metapod that would have only Harden. Okay, so here's Viridian Forest. Viridian Forest, they made it a little bit more interesting than it was in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. In those, it was basically completely chopped down. They decided that that was not okay and decided to give us, you know, a proper forest again. There are plenty of items here in the forest. There is a leaf stone just sitting out, so if you're not getting anyone to call you to give you a leaf stone, you can get one here. Like any other forest, most of the hidden items here are just going to be mushrooms. But there are some other things, like there's max ether right here. If it's against like a wall or a tree, then there's a pretty good chance that it's a mushroom, and if it's actually like in an interesting looking location, then it's probably something else. Did I actually? I don't think I put the experience share on uh, Diglett. And if I switched it in right now against Ariados, it would probably just get taken out. A level 50 Ariados' poison jab will absolutely demolish a level 19 Diglett. Yeah, if you need 2000, it's not split. Oh well. That's a bummer, but I'll get enough experience. It's not a big deal. I am going to put the leftovers on Machamp right now instead of the black belt, and I'm going to heal it and let the leftovers take care of some of that poison damage, but leave it poisoned so I get the guts boost. Uh, the hidden item is down. Yes, so I need to go down there and get the other item, and then I can get the hidden one as well. DM for Psych Up. I'll check what that does in a moment, because I don't remember. I think it gives you the same stat boosts that your opponent has. TM 77, Psych Up, hypnotizes itself into copying any stat change made by the foe. Correct. Also show, because I picked it up. Flash Cannon is a steel type move. Uh, decent power, good accuracy, can lower the special defense. If you have a steel type Pokemon, maybe use it. Gosh, a bug catcher in Viridian Forest is using bug type Pokemon. Imagine that. Oops, that was not my intended move, but Cross Chop is so powerful that it almost took out the Beedrill anyway. So, poison does do a little bit more damage than the leftovers are healing, but it at least mitigates the health loss somewhat. While the bug type is super effective against the dark type, it does not resist dark type moves. One of these trainers has absolutely garbage Pokemon. I don't know if it's this one. Yeah, this guy has a level 52 Metapod. Evolve that thing, sir. It's only been able to evolve for 42 levels. No, I'm curious to see. I don't even know what moves Diglett knows. But I'm curious to see if it can take it out itself. Because all it's going to do is use Harden. Mud Slap is a special move. I guess it depends on if I get high levels of magnitude. No, it resists everything I have. So I would likely run out of PP before I was able to take it out. Rock Doom is super effective. To explain how bad Onyx is, I'm doing super effective damage to this Metapod. I'm at the same level. At this point, its defense doesn't go any higher, so it doesn't matter if I miss a stone edge or two. So even though I switched around my Pokemon a little bit, Diglett still gets more experience. Because it guarantees at least half of all experience gained from that Pokemon through the experience share. As you send it in during that time, it gets a little bit more. So however you spread your experience around by using different Pokemon, uh, one with the experience share will always get at least half. Okay, Bug Catcher Stacy defeated. Uh, no one has ever told me that from behind I look like a Venonat. Maybe I do. Though, and why wouldn't call a Venonat a particularly cute Pokemon? Coming from a bug catcher, it could be a compliment. Repel wore off, and I walked past a hidden item. I really don't need the mushrooms. All you can do with them in this game is sell them. Tiny mushroom. There's gonna be another one up around here somewhere. Maybe? No, down there? Okay. He was walking into Machamp. Machamp lost a lot of health while I was blundering around looking for items. Level 28 Weedle. It could easily be a Beedrill if you cared to evolve it. This guy is a little more competent. While he does have a high level Weedle and a high level Kakuna, he does also at least have a Beedrill. Diglett grew to level 22. Diglett evolves at what, level 28, I think? Kakuna, Kakumi, Vakarona. I will send Onyx in to take care of the Kakuna because Machamp only has one use of payback left. And I know that even if he misses 5 times, Rocky can still at least take out a Kakuna. The only reason my Pokemon are getting more experience than Diglett is because they're getting trade boosted experience. Hello Caterpie, level 3. I have a good reason for not putting up a repel again in here. I do need to catch a Pokemon in here for a trade. But it is not Caterpie, it is not Metapod, it is not Pidgey. There's a trade I can do a bit later in the game that involves me trading there's a trade and something else I need a Pikachu specifically from Viridian Forest for. Which is why I'm not putting up a repel. I'm hoping that I will encounter one before I leave, so I don't have to come back and get it later. I like Pikachu to use if it's holding a light ball. But Pikachu is not the most common Pokemon to find here to begin with, and the chance of it also holding a light ball is another quite small percentage. So I do not expect to find a Pikachu holding the light ball, but if I did, then the Pikachu that I could get as part of a trade would be a Pokemon I would use, because the light ball is just that good. When you have Electrode, Magneton, and when you have Electrode and Magneton as uh, potential choices, and you use Pikachu anyway, that should tell you exactly how good the light ball is. Red has one. That guy and Lieutenant Surge do not. Diglett wants to learn Sucker Punch. I mean, Magnitude is just so uh, random that it's not a move I would keep if I already had Dig. So I am out of paybacks, but a couple karate chops should do it, especially if one of them's a crit. If I didn't have guts, it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't have done nearly as much. And now muscle is done with this level. So I have defeated every trainer here in Viridian Forest, and I believe I found all the items too. Which means now what I want is to find a Pikachu. It doesn't matter what level it is, or what nature it has, or what item it may be holding. I just need a Pikachu. I could take a break and catch it off screen. That's probably what I should do. But I'll get 3 more encounters, and if I don't find the Pikachu, then I will catch it off screen. Found Pidgey, Caterpie, and Metapod in here. And even Pidgeotto, but have not found. Alright, I'll catch it off screen. It's a little while before I can do that trade anyway, so it's not like I need the Pikachu now. There is one more trainer before I get into Peter City, this bug catcher. And he will have a non-Kanto or Johto Pokemon. He will have Burmy. Thankfully, I'm not holding a berry. I considered giving a bunch of my Pokemon berries, but decided not to. All of my rock tombs missed, and now he's using Protect. Was successful with Protect multiple turns in a row. And just get a critical hit on the Burmy. He also has a Butterfree. Let's see if we can get lucky with a Stone Edge. 4 times damage if it hits. That Butterfree did not faint, it died. Got hit with a mountain of rocks. And Beedrill. Stone Edge would be super effective against the Beedrill as well. Not 4 times damage, but more than enough to take it out. Onix is still bad, but it got better when it learned Stone Edge. And I will come up around here because there is a hidden item. A Max Revive. I felt it was worth risking the random encounter for a Max Revive. Let us heal up. I do change a little bit how I go through Kanto each time. Sometimes I just go through each route as you would, and then I go back around and just kind of blitz the gym leaders. And then sometimes I face each gym leader as I get to their town. I have not decided which I am doing yet on this playthrough. If you have a hunter, you will trade it for my Xatu, won't you? Yes, I will trade you this hunter that I caught specifically for the purpose of trading it for your Xatu. Will be set to Mondo. These in-game trade both the name of the person and the nicknames they give their Pokemon are wild. Xatu, the flying psychic type, is coming to me. We saw a couple on Will's team. Now I already have a flying type in Dodrio, but it's a physical attacker, whereas Xatu is more special. The Xatu's name is Paul. Apparently he still has Haunter. I did not put an Everstone on it, so it should be a Gengar now. The Xatu comes holding a Wakan Berry, which reduces damage. Super effective electric type moves. It has a fantastic modest nature, which boosts its special attack and lowers physical attack with it using primarily special moves. That is preferable. Has synchronized for its abilities, so if it gets burned, poisoned, or paralyzed, so will the enemy. It actually doesn't know any direct damage dealing moves. Lucky Champ prevents critical hits. Miracle Eye lets you hit a dark type Pokemon with any type of move, Scott's Thoughts. It also enables the user to hit an evasive foe. Me First lets you use the move that the opponent is going to use before them. Use the foe's intended move with greater power. So if I know that they're going to try to attack me, I can use that and deal damage. And I can confuse them. Xatu will learn moves, but at the moment, I'm going to sideline it for the moment and focus on the Pokemon I already have and Diglett. But I do believe I will probably use Xatu at least a little bit. So also here in Pewter City, we can... Is this sign? In Generation 1, they were spraying Repel around here to keep bugs away. guard spec. Uh, the item that sponsors Giovanni. There's an old man standing here, and he will give you either the silver wing or the rainbow wing, depending on which version you're playing. It will allow you to get the other legendary bird that is not of the version you're playing. So since I'm playing HeartGold and was able to find Ho-Oh, he gives me the silver wing, which will allow me to encounter uh, Lugia. Because my mom's been calling for ages, let's go into a Pokemart and get whatever she's sending me. Babiri berries and Haban berries and Koba berries and Chardy berries and more Chardy berries and no further packages. Let me check if I have all the berry types now. That's 1, 7 plus 6 is 13, 14, 15. No, there are 17 types. So I'm not done yet. Once I have all of them, I stop saving money with my mom so she won't call me anymore. Alright, so we're going to head towards Mount Moon. I will decide at some point soon whether I want to battle Brock now or later. But I will at least get to Mount Moon first. There's something on top of Mount Moon that I want to get now. You cannot do it at night. It has to be daytime, so that's why I want to do it now. Because if I play the game off screen, I usually do so in the evening. And so doing it off screen would not work. I actually played last night to catch that Ghastly at like midnight. I was having trouble sleeping anyway, so I figured let's catch the Ghastly. And it's good that I did, because I did make it to Peter City today. Youngster Regis. Not the shorts boy, but a shorts boy. Down here there are several hidden... They're meteorites from space, and they matter if you have Deoxys. It's what allows you to change its form. But we do not have Deoxys. We do not have legendaries from other regions. There's a double battle here. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. Zach and Jen, Ace Trainers. Double team, Zach and Jen, Electabuzz, and Doug Trio. Well, that's just awful. I will use Swift to hit both of them, and Headbutt from Onyx to hopefully take out the Doug Trio. Nope, it's using Dig. It was faster. I have to guess which one that Doug Trio is using it on. I think it's going to use it on Billy. So I will switch Billy out for... Oh, I can't switch because of Arena Trap. Well, darn. And he was using it on Rocky anyway. I was going to switch out to Dodrio so that I dodge the uh, dig, but... Yeah. Alright, at least the Electabuzz is down. This Dugtrio is probably going to use Dig again. I do not have like Earthquake or something else that hits him while he's underground. I'll just try Light Screen. I was paralyzed anyway. So he'll come up, and if I'm able to hit him, if I survive the Dig, I did not. But the Swift took him out. Well, that's not more experience to Electrode and Diglett. Now, Diglett does learn some special moves, including Earth Power, which is a very powerful special ground type move, almost as powerful as Earthquake. So if you have a special attacking ground type, you definitely wanted to know Earth Power. Something like a camera up to absolutely demolishes teams if you combine Earth Power and Flamethrower. That was one of my favorites I've ever used. Completely decimating teams. When it evolves into Dugtrio, it has a chance to learn Sand Tomb. Well, if the person at the power plant wants his Dugtrio to learn moves that it's already passed, he can find a heart scale. Alright, so I need to get... So I'm going to take a detour now from my truck to Mount Moon. I'm going to switch Sandshrew for Totodile so that I can surf again. And we're going to go ahead and, while I have the menu open, remove the experience share and fly back to Cerulean. There's the hiker that sees me every time I go by here. And I'm sick of trying to avoid him, so I'll just battle him this time. Actually, I didn't even have to come up here, so I didn't have to battle him. But, oh well. Ewan. Or Ian. I can bank on Iron Tail hitting enough times to make it worth it. Or he'll just go boom. Onyx has enough defense to handle it if his Growlers want to explode. That was a crit. In all likelihood, this Growler is going to explode too, and if I faint, I won't get any experience for it. But whatever. Oh no, he went for Earthquake. Cool. Okay. The Pokemon most likely to be able to take out the Graveler before it explodes would be Muscle. I removed the black belt in favor of leftovers, so I won't be doing 20% more damage, but Karate Chop got the critical hit and probably would have taken out Graveler anyway because Machamp is just that darn strong. Alright, now I don't have to worry about trying to avoid him anymore. We put up an additional repel because I just want to get this trade done. I'll probably take my break when I get to Mount Moon. I have a distinct memory of putting drinks in the refrigerator last night, and then when I went down to get one before the stream, there were no drinks in the refrigerator. I don't know what happened to them. They appear to have slipped into a alternate dimension. Alright, I can trade Dugtrio for Magneton. 2 in-game trades today. Being traded to Lorenzo. Let's see what he named his Magneton. I like Magneton more than Electrode, so I may start using it somewhat soon, but all that time I spent getting Thunderbolt for Electrode, and it will probably be replaced. But Magneton learns Discharge to level up, which is almost as good. Sent over Maggie. Maggie the Magneton. So, like, yes, there are people named Rocky, and there's probably someone somewhere named Muscle. But after that, we got, like, Billy, we got Doris, we got Maggie, we got Paul. Why do they all have just, like, normal names? If you trade for the Magneton, that is another way to get a Magnet Coat, or Metal Coat. We have 2 now. There is, well, Magnezone had been introduced by Generation 4. There is no way to evolve Magneton into Magnezone in this game. There's no electrified or magnetized rock or whatever you have to evolve Magneton near to get it. It has an impish nature, which is plus defense minus special attack, which is absolutely horrible. Magneton has massive special attack and would benefit greatly from a nature that does not lower it. Steel-type Pokemon cannot escape because of Magnet Pull, and right now it doesn't have great moves. But sometimes that's just the way the game is. Not every in-game trade is going to have good natures or moves. But that's why I try to get them at the lowest level possible so that they have a good move that they knew earlier on. It hasn't been replaced by whatever they learned by that level. And if I want the moves it gets later, then I will level it up. Between here and Mount Moon and Cerulean City, there is absolutely no water. So it does not make sense for me to have Totodile with me. But it does make sense to have Sandshrew for the Rock Second Smash. No, I will keep 5 Pokemon with me for now. I will look at the natures and learn sets of Exatio and Magneton and my other Pokemon and determine what my 6-person team will be. Which is the decision I should make before battling Brock, is what Pokemon will be on my final team so that I'm not wasting experience on Pokemon that will not be. Like, I really shouldn't even be using Onix at this point. Even though there's quite a bit I have to do before I can actually get its improvement. So if you've ever watched the speed run, they have to decide which of these trainers to battle. I will battle both of them. You battle one trainer, then run back to Peter's city so that they move back to their original spot, and then you don't have to battle both. I want to battle both, so I will, but... The worst part about using a Pikachu with the light ball in the in-game trade uh, challenge is that a Pikachu holding a light ball can be bred to get a Pikachu that knows Volt Tackle. That's the only way it learns that move. But the one that I bred for would not technically be the in-game trade, so I wouldn't be able to use it. Also, the Pikachu you get uh, as part of a trade is a foreign language Pikachu. It will be English if you're playing in any other language. In English, it will be a French Pikachu. And through the Masuda method, if you breed a Pokemon with a foreign language Pokemon, you have a higher chance of hatching a shiny. So that's an in-game way to actually do that without trading with someone on the other side of the world. But uh, if I can't use the breeded Pokemon, then why bother getting it? I'll use Swift because unlike Thunderbolt, Swift is not resisted. And Swift also doesn't make contact, so if this parasite happens to be one that has effective Spore, I will not trigger it. Parasite learns growth, but it has much better physical attack than special attack, so it was still using Slash anyway. Parasite can be a decent Pokemon if you raise it right. It's just not necessarily an intuitively good Pokemon. There's a fire breather over here. The weather's as fine as ever. The weather is actually not as good here as it was the past 2 days. The past 2 days it was sunny and warm with just a slight breeze, absolutely beautiful. Today it might rain. Actually, it did rain already at like 5 a.m., but it might rain more. It's actually quite strange that it might rain because if I look down at the little weather I have in the taskbar on my computer, it says that it's sunny and it actually has a high UV advisory, but there are also uh, clouds out there that are blocking a significant portion of the sun. Of course, the window behind me has southern exposure, so if there's any amount of sun, it's going to hit the window, which is why I keep a blanket over it now when I stream. If I come over around here and follow the path, I can get the big root item that increases the damage of moves that steal HP, your Absorb, your Mega Drain, what have you. It also increases the damage of things like Leech Seed. So if you have a Pokemon that you like to steal HP with, get that big root on them and deal more damage. And therefore, having dealt more damage, you get more back as well. I know about bagging in the shoulders, taking backpacks to packs and walking around for, 8 hours with a backpack digging into your shoulders.
I mean, it's not as bad as high school was. In high school, my locker was like at a very far corner of the building, which means I had absolutely no chance to actually get to it and then get to my next class on time. So I basically had to carry all of my books around with me all the time. And being a student taking honors and AP classes, my books were like 10 pounds each. I actually measured my backpack after school one day. I was carrying around 70 pounds of books every day, all day. Yeah, I had some shoulder and side issues from that. There was one teacher for a semester that told me to just leave my books in their classroom and come grab them uh, anytime I was able. That helped some, but not every teacher was so accommodating. Funnily enough, the AP test I did the best on was actually for a test I didn't actually take the class for. I just enjoyed the subject, so I took the AP test anyway and did well enough that I never had to take a writing course in university. They decided I knew how to write well enough already. Alright, Black Belt Manford has been defeated. He managed to, with the damage that. Ow, thought it was done. Or at least I thought I could get to the Pokemon Center without battling anyone. I knew there were more trainers. The only Pokemon that actually has a good matchup against Magneton is the now fainted Machamp. I can do some damage with Stone Edge if I actually manage to hit it. I'm using it because of the heightened critical hit chance. That's the only way I take out this Magneton reliably. It has a Steelix too, which is another Pokemon that only Machamp actually has a chance to take out. I will do my best to deal damage to the Steelix. It's going to be using Dragon Breath because that's a special move. I'm going to try Iron Tail. It does next to nothing, but maybe I'll get a defense drop that will help another Pokemon take it out. And now it's setting up Rock Polish on me because I'm paralyzed, and it's setting up Curse, and the Steelix is going to sweep my team. Because it's going to use Rock Polish until it outspeeds everything. It'll use Curse until I can't do any damage to it, and then it will just make me wipe. This is not good. You're already faster than everything on my team. You do not need to go to +6 speed. I have to go all out and try and hit it with Cross Chop. I have no other option here. It will outspeed me. Thankfully, Iron Tail can miss. And even with the curses, Cross Chop was enough to finish it off. Gosh, that was terrifying. Let's avoid this guy because I want to heal before I have to fight anyone else. Wait until he is turned in the opposite direction. There was nothing built here when I climbed the mountain. Things changed and it's getting more and more convenient. I don't know when he took the mountain because there was a Pokemon Center here in the games of 3 years past. The only thing that's changed about this Pokemon Center is there's no one here selling you a Magikarp. Of course, in this game you get the old rod uh, relatively early, so why would you buy a Magikarp when uh, you can catch one very fast? The advantage to buying the Magikarp in red, blue, yellow, fire red, and leaf green was that you don't get the old rod until Vermilion City. But if you bought a Magikarp here, you could potentially get a Gyarados much earlier. Weezing is known for its relatively high physical defense, so these stone edges, I would not take it out even with 2 unless I get a crit. And now that it's taken enough damage, it decides to cut its losses and explode. But not before poisoning me with sludge. Bacargo is a rock fire type, which means if I had a ground type move, that would absolutely demolish it. But a rock type move would be sufficient if I can actually hit one. Ah, come on, Onyx. Can't take out a Mad Cargo with a Stone Edge. I mean, yes, it has decent physical defense, but a super effective Stone Edge should take out anything. No, I'm just gonna leave Onyx fainted and battle the other trainer without it. There is something waiting for me in Mount Moon, which is why I'm going to build the anticipation by taking the break before I go in there. Going through Mount Moon in HeartGold and Soul Silver is 100% optional. You can get. I've already been to Cerulean, I've been to Pewter without being through Mount Moon, so it is an optional area, 100%. But there are things that I can do if I take it. This is another mod choke. I will thunderbolt it into oblivion. Black belt Anda. Not to be confused with the Unova champion Anders. I actually don't. No, his name is Alder. The Anders I'm thinking of is a character in Skyrim. Rocky is feeling better, so you decided to take Rocky with you. Just because I haven't decided to use a TM to teach Machamp a rock type move. That's why I'm taking Onyx with me. Alright, so there's a couple things that are special about Mount Moon. But we will see them when I come back from my break. So I will save the game. And save state as well. I will go on break and hope that my mom doesn't call while I am. Okay, I'm back in. Mother, I'm going to put my champ in front real quick. And walking into Mount Moon, we see our rival immediately. This rival fight is not required, but there are some things you do need to do this rival fight to make happen. And why would I miss a chance to beat up on him? He is still using Sneasel first, which is why I put Machamp in front. A simple, it will outspeed me, but a simple karate chop will do 4 times damage and definitely take Sneasel out. His next choice is Alakazam. He is choosing that because I am a fighting type and I don't know that I would outspeed it and to be able to take it out with a payback. So I will send in Doris to use a Drill Peck. Powerful physical move. Should handle Alakazam without too much difficulty. Okay, I had some ads running so I could get some energy back for Duolingo. Uh, I did the lessons I need to do today, but I want to do a little bit more later tonight, so let a couple ads run while I'm not paying attention to get more energy back. A Karate Chop has no problem taking out Magneton. Super effective against the Steel type. Now he's going to send in Golbat. I will switch to Billy to Thunderbolt it down. See how I'm not giving Onix any experience, even though I could probably handle the Golbat as well. I mean, I am going to use Onix in this battle. Just... no, I'm not. I'm so used to choosing Chikorita and my rival having Typhlosion that I forgot that he has Meganium in this one, which makes another Drill Peck the perfect strategy to... And this Meganium has reasonable bulk but cannot stand up to a Dodrio's Drill Peck. Last Pokemon is going to be Gengar. I will send Machamp back out to use Payback, and that should take care of the Gengar. He's going to use Curse, which means he already lost half of his health. Critical hit just adds insult to injury. Training's still not good enough? My Pokemon are so weak it makes me frustrated, but I can feel that they're getting better after each battle. They're still too weak. I need to give them more training. I know. I should take them to Dragon's Den. See ya. So if we want to find him again, we can go to Dragon's Den, and that will unlock something else that I can do. But I do not think my Pokemon are ready for what will happen in Dragon's Den. So we will put that on the back burner for now. We can come over here and immediately leave Mount Moon. Or we can come over here, get a hidden revive, and come up this ladder and exit on the upper floor. There are a few things up here. First of all, there's another hidden item back here, a max revive this time. We will go into that building in just a moment. Over here, if it is Monday night, you can see Cliff Fairy dance and they will leave behind a moonstone. So that is a reliable, renewable way to get moonstones. Inside this house, when the sun goes down, Cliff Fairy come out to play. You must be tired from climbing. How about stocking up on supplies? This store is only open during the day. It sells Pokeballs, repels, heart mail. It also sells fresh water, soda pop, and lemonade. And unlike all of the vending machines, you can buy up to 99 at a time. So I've always wanted lemonades to be my primary healing item, and now I can buy them 99 at a time. So I'm just going to buy a quick 300 of them, and I should be set for a while. He says that they're closed in the evenings. So yes, Moo Moo Milk is still a very good value for what you pay. You get a dozen for not very much, but a lot of Pokemon will be relatively well healed. Of the 4 Pokemon on my team that I'm using, the only one that has more than 160 HP is Machamp. So if I were to revive it, it would be less than 80 to full health. So why use a Moo Moo Milk when I could fully heal them with a single lemonade instead? Lemonade is just good to have. And it costs half the price of a super potion and heals 30 more. So that is Mount Moon. You get that shop that is open only during the day, and our last regular rival battle. You can get an Ultra Ball here. I didn't want to battle her yet because my team is all messed up. I will use Onyx for a little bit because I do have to beat all 8 gyms until I can get a Pokemon that will replace it. So Picnicker Hope sends out a Flaffy. I will say that there are other remaining trades. One, you need a Pikachu. One, you can use literally any Pokemon that is allowed within the Battle Frontier. So certain legendaries and mythical Pokemon are excluded. And then for the other one, you need a Bonsly. To get a Bonsly, you would have to catch the Sudowoodo, which if you did not catch it initially, upon defeating the Elite Four, it would reappear where you found it originally. So until you catch it, it will keep reappearing there every time you beat the Elite Four. So you can keep trying if you didn't get it the first time around. And then, yeah, so, and then breed it with either a Ditto or if your Sudowoodo is female, something else in the same egg group, and it will hatch as a Bonsly. Unlike some of the Gen 4 introduced baby Pokemon, you do not need to be holding a particular item for it to be a Bonsly. It always will be. So you need Bonsly, some Pokemon that you don't mind losing, and a Pikachu for 3 more in-game trades. And like I said, there is one with Steven Stone for Fortress, but that is post-red. After you defeat Red, you can find Steven Stone in the Silphco building in Saffron. He will offer you one of the Hoenn starters. Then he will go to the Pewter Museum of Science. If you talk to him there, he will go back to the Silph Co building, and then you can trade a fortress for Belgium. But again, all of that requires you to beat red first, and once you beat red, the challenge is basically over. My gem mine is full in Raid Shadow Legends, but I don't want to play it right now. The daily quests reset at 7 p.m., so that's when I play. And of course, 100% free to play. I don't spend a single cent on the game. Alright, another picnic card taken care of. Let's grab this item that's sitting here. It is an HP up. It's still nice to find vitamins, even if I can easily spend the money to buy them now. And having gone through Map Moon, we now find ourselves back inside. That's really... If we come over here, there's a hidden item. Oh, sorry, it's in the water. Yes, you notices that his dowsing machine is responding. That gives you a hint to check it. Misty is not currently in the Cerulean Gym. She is up at the Cape near Bill's grandfather's cottage. Let's see, I'm going to take a quick look at my pseudo-widow and see if it's female. If not, I need to catch a ditto off screen as well. I didn't catch the pseudo-widow, I defeated it. Well then I need to go catch pseudo-widow. Now, if it's not a female, I could defeat it, then go fight the Elite Four and come back and see if it's a female the next time around. I knew that there was a trade for Bonsly in this game. I don't know why I didn't. I would have to go back and look at the archives to try and figure out my reasoning for not catching the Sudowoodo, because that is just a poor decision. But it will be there. I did defeat the Elite Four, so. And at this point, my Pokemon at their current levels, if I needed to beat the Elite Four again, I definitely would. There's no danger of me being unable to defeat them at this point. Alright, so Sudowoodo will be here. I guess if you didn't believe me saying that defeating the Elite Four brings it back, here's your proof. There it is. I will save so that I have a chance of catching it. Uh, there is a problem here. Let's put Electrode out front. I think it will be able to survive at least one Swift. Use the squirt bottle. The odd tree doesn't like the squirt bottle. The odd tree attacked. This Sudowoodo is female, so I could get a Ditto or any other Pokemon in the same egg group as Sudowoodo. And Static paralyzed it, so we should have a pretty good chance of catching it. Red health. paralysis. Its catch rate is not absurdly low. It's not a great catch rate, but it's not absurdly low. I'm saving the Master Ball for a particular legendary Pokemon because I have to catch a specific legendary to get one of my trades. I have to catch Zapdos before I can trade for the Pikachu. Alright, so we have Sudowoodo. Uh, cool, Jelly Nature. And Rockhead. That's pretty good. So I have the Sudowoodo. When I'm trying to catch uh, Pikachu off screen, I will put Sudowoodo in the daycare with something else in the same egg group and get the Bonsly. It doesn't have to be a good Bonsly because I'm trading it, so I don't have to worry about its nature or ability or anything. For reference's sake, if anyone is also trying to do in-game trades and is just caught a female Sudowoodo, its egg group is the in the mineral egg group, which is 84 Pokemon belong to the group, primarily composed of Pokemon uh, of inorganic nature, many taking on rocky or crystalline appearances. That's 84 Pokemon as of Generation 9. But things that are currently in that as of Generation 4 are the Geodude family, the Magnemite family, Onix, Voltorb family, Porygon, Sudowoodo itself, uh, Shedinja, Nosepass, Lunatone and Solrock, Baltoy and Claydol, Beldoom family, Bronzor family, uh, Probopass as well, and then the Pokemon after their Gen 5 or later. Oh, there's also Snorunt, uh, which is in both mineral and fairy egg groups, but yeah. So, uh, oops. No, Primo, you're not important to me for this playthrough. Um, Rocky is a male Onix, so if I really wanted to, I could breed Sudowoodo with it. Despite being part rock type, Shuckle is not in the group. And if I'm going to be using uh, Magneton, I wouldn't want to breed it. So my best bet for an easy way to get a Pokemon to breed with Sudowoodo would be to go to the route north between New Bark Town, Cherry Grove City, Union Cave, or Dark Cave. Union Cave would also give me the chance of finding an Onix to catch, but Dark Cave and the route north of Route 29, I think it's Route 29, whatever the route is between New Bark Town and Cherry Grove City, I can find Geodude uh, with uh, relatively high consistency. Just wait until I find a male one, throw a Pokeball or two at it, and now I have a Pokemon I can breed with Sudowoodo. It's certainly a lot easier to find a male Geodude in one of those locations than it would have been to try and find a Ditto on the route north or south of Goldenrod City. They put Ditto there because that's where the daycare is, so they put Ditto nearby. I remember in Pokemon Y, I caught an entire box full of Ditto, one of every single nature in the game, so that if I were breeding and wanted a particular nature, I could use the Ditto of that nature to pass it on. Okay, Geodude has managed to paralyze itself by attacking me. Surely I'm going to catch it soon. It's a level 2 Geodude. Should not have been difficult to catch. So I'm not going to get to the point where I can trade for trade the Bonsly today. So I don't need to start breeding it yet, but I have what I need. Let me double check my in-game trades though. I'm pretty sure I've done all the ones I can do right now without needing to advance further in the game. And let me make sure that I'm right about Bonsly. Oh, the Sudowoodo has to know Mimic. No, the Bonsly evolves into Sudowoodo if it knows Mimic. To get a Bonsly, you breed Sudowoodo, and it does not have to be holding anything. Nope, I'm wrong about that too. To get a Bonsly, the Sudowoodo has to be holding a Rock Incense. Let's see where I get a Rock Incense. There is one in Diglett's Cave, but despite it being in Diglett's Cave, it requires Rock Climb, which means that I cannot get the Rock Incense and breed the Sudowoodo to get a Bonsly until I have defeated all 16 gyms. So, yes, I have the Sudowoodo, I have the Geodude, I do not have the Rock Incense I need. I thought for sure there was another way to get Bonsly in this game, but there is not. Well, there is the Pokewalker, but... Yeah. So I cannot get the Bonsly yet, and I cannot get the other in-game trade just yet. Yes, the remaining ones are a Pikachu for a Pikachu, the Bonsly for a Rhyhorn, the Any Pokemon, and the Silph one that's after that. To find the Bonsly trade, you just have to defeat Brock, and then between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. on a Saturday, I can trade. I have to do a rematch for another one. Yeah, so I cannot get any more in-game trades for now. Um, what are the rules for that Pikachu trade exactly? Because I know that it's not just as soon as you do it. I know I could not do it right now, at least. Um, this does not say the uh, conditions on which you can get the trade for Pikachu. It just says that they'll be at the Magnet train station in HeartGold and Soul Silver. That doesn't help me. After defeating him in a rematch, okay. So, to be completely transparent, the characters I trade with are Lieutenant Surge, Brock, and Jasmine. I have to defeat Brock in his original match and then trade him to Bondsley. Uh, Defeating Lieutenant Surge in a rematch will allow me to trade the Pikachu. And to get Lieutenant Surge's number 3 match him, you have to catch Zapdos. And then you have to defeat Jasmine in a rematch to trade the any Pokemon to her. So I am stuck with my current Pokemon for now. Which means I need to actually make progress with the 6 I've got before I can get 3 more. But well, technically getting 16 badges, but the actual check for it is the Earth badge specifically. Uh, to get gym leader rematches or Elite Four rematches or access to Red. Uh, I need the Earth badge. So for now, what I can do is just get up to that point, and then getting the Earth badge will unlock Rock Climb for me and gym leader rematches, which will allow me to trade the remaining Pokemon, and then I can level up those Pokemon, the subset of those Pokemon I want to use to prepare for the Elite Four rematches and the battle with Red. I want to do both those rematches and the battle with Red before concluding the challenge. And building a chemistry between us, and it's finally working. Fine, fine. This is one of my favorite patches of ground in the entire series. In Pokemon Yellow, you can find the Charmander here. Alright, so the former Nugget Bridge trainers have moved off of Nugget Bridge and are now populating the route between here and the Cape. I think one character refers to them as the six-pack trainers, which is amusing. That wasn't even a critical hit. The 13 level lower than me Oddish just one-shot me. Yes, Giga Drain is a powerful move, and I'm 4 times weak to it, but one shot? I would have believed if Petal Dance had taken me down. That makes sense. Petal Dance is a very powerful move. I'm trying to decide if Onyx is actually useful for any of the remaining gym leaders. I have better options for Brock. He'll be no good against Misty. Without a ground move, he's not really any better than anyone else against Lieutenant Surge. No good against Erica. Not much help against Janine. Not much help against Sabrina. It could be helpful against Blaine, but by the time I reach Blaine, how high are my other Pokemon going to be? It shouldn't matter. Blue has a well-rounded team. His most dangerous threats would probably be the Executor at the beginning, which Dodrio can take out easily. The Rhydon, which Muscle can handle. The Arcanine would probably be the thing that Onyx helps the most with. Okay, I can think of a couple of places where Onyx will actually be helpful. Of course, all of that is assuming that I still don't choose to teach, say, Rock Slide to Machamp as soon as I beat Brock. Yes, but Even though I can't get any more trade Pokemon right now, I need to figure out which of the six I have I want to use up until that point. So I'm not wasting too much experience before then. When I reach the Cape is probably when I'm going to end this stream. And when I come back next week, I will have decided exactly which Pokemon I'm going to use. I will have constructed what I think is the best team I can make out of in-game trades. In the meantime, here's number 2. She's got a Wigglytuff, which because this is not Gen 1, I am not terrified. Wigglytuff is not better in Gen 1, just its sprite is terrifying. There are a few sprites in Gen 1 that are just straight up nightmare fuel, and Wigglytuff is one of them. I mean, nothing will ever match Mew, but if you think there's no way to not make Mew cute, then you just haven't seen its Gen 1 sprite. Granville stopped using Rage, so its Rage is no longer building. DoorDash is taunting me again. They're saying that orders are moving fast. They told me that yesterday, and then I waited another 40 minutes before I actually got an offer. So but they send extra notifications telling me that things are moving quickly on days when I'm not working. Alright, knocked off the Silk Scarf, which means that my headbutt is going to be 20% weaker for the remainder of the battle. So I will just use rock moves. Oh, we got the boost. Gym Power has a small chance of boosting all of your stats. And Tangela got the boost. A headbutt at this point will take it out anyway. Onyx grows to level 59. Hey, did you know that Vaporeon? Oh, stumped flat. So Electrode will actually be next now? No. But Machamp and Electrode will be before Onyx needs to battle again. Alright, 3 down. Here's number 4. What is with these people wanting to stomp me? uh, Nidoking is kind of scary. I am quite a fan of Nidoking. It might have a rivalry, as much damage as that did. Nidoking can have rivalry or it can have poison point. Well, no. We're opposite genders, so our rivalry would have made our moves do less damage. So that makes me think that he probably was poison point and I just didn't get unlucky enough to trigger it. Or lucky enough if you want guts, but yeah. They're about 200 experience apart. that just gets me to the grass up here. There's not an item up there. Yeah, get off the bike so that I can control my movement a little bit better. Numbers 5 and 6, you fight together. I'm number 5, getting tired. I'm last in line, but I tell you I'm tough. So, between the two of them, they have 6 Pokemon. I don't like that Onix is back out for all of these grass types. I will use Swift. It almost took out the Paris. The Headbutt should take out Gloom. So we at least get one Pokemon down. Paris is using Growth. But awesome. I will use Swift again. That will take out the Paris. And we'll see if the Swift Headbutt combo does significant damage to Blossom. It may or may not. If I don't take it out, Blossom will probably take out Onix. That was with a crit. And he uses Magical Leaf, which is a 4 times effective 60 base power grass move, so of course Onix cannot survive that. Another Paris is coming out. I'm just going to use Light Screen because I'm going to take out the Blossom right now. And since either Pokemon the Dodrio hit, it was going to take out. So Swift was only going to target one Pokemon anyway. And Paris is not a threat. So just use a Light Screen and then Swift and Jump Back to take out whatever else comes out. I got a crit on the Pidgeotto though. The Paris survived with a Sliver. Since it's the only Pokemon still on the field, Dodrio will target it. And the last Pokemon is a Parasect, which I will do 4 times damage to with the upcoming Jump Back. The crit was wholly unnecessary. Calm down, Dodrio. Last Flora and last Shannon have been defeated. I will go ahead and revive and lemonade Onix. Because I don't want to go all the way back to the Pokemon Center and then walk back out here to heal it. So use some of my items. So you can see after I revive, 66 health. Moofufufu. I have nothing to do with the 6-pack trainers. I waited here to beat you when you were tired out by all the battles. How unscrupulous. He has only a Porygon. Download raises its attack because my special defense is lower. But a Thunderbolt should take it right out. Aren't you tired at all? He's my mortal enemy because his name is Pat, and I don't like being called Pat. I can cut down this tree because I still have Sandshrew with me. And get a protein. You need protein to get through all those battles. You took on one more battle than you expected, but you won anyway. As promised, you win a prize. But after seeing how you battle, I want to see how I'll fare. How about it? Let me take you on. He is not asking me to join Team Rocket. This is unpleasant. Allow me to switch out momentarily. I do not like Electrode's chances against a Rhyhorn, especially one that knows Earthquake. But let's Karate Chop it, and that should be plenty. It was not enough. And this Rhyhorn has Rock Head because it did not do channels. Someone just subscribed to my channel. If you are someone who is currently watching the stream, thank you. Alright, Charmeleon was not a match for Onyx, but Wartortle certainly would be. I want to check that notification later, but currently it's just making me drop frames. I have it on my phone too, so I can check it there. Alright, Ace Trainer Kevin has been defeated. Says he's never had a battle that good. He is quite pleased to be beaten up on. Alright, so Onyx is next in terms of how close it is to a level up. Dodrio is closer than Electrode. There. But there are no more trainers on this route. And there's not a hidden item here. Misty is over here though. And that guy runs off. Aw, why'd you have to show up and bug us now? Do you know what they call people like you? Pests. You heard me right, pest. Oh, those badges you have. Are they Johto Gym badges? If you have 8, you must be good. Okay then, come to Cerulean Gym. I'll be happy to take you on. I'm Misty, the gym leader in Cerulean. I'm a pest only if I don't have Johto Gym badges, apparently. So this is Bill's grandfather. A round blue Pokemon that has leaves growing on its head. That's an Oddish. This guy will ask you to show him certain Pokemon, and if you do, he will give you the evolutionary stone related to said Pokemon. So, Oddish, he would give me a leaf stone. You can get one of each type of stone by doing his requests. So that's another way to get at least some evolutionary stones. I still wish you could just buy them in this game, but apparently something must have happened to the supply of evolutionary stones between the original games and the Johto games, because they can't be bought anymore. Maybe there was some untalked about event that uh, damaged the supply of evolutionary stones, so they made them harder to get. Or maybe Game Freak just doesn't like us. The underground is open, so I will take it. But I'll do some other things first. Is this the person you have to talk to at night? I guess we'll find out. Stop down here. You can get up here faster once you have rock climb, but you don't need rock climb. Yeah! It sends a sinister shadow hovering over you. Take this to ward it off. Obtain the cleanse tag. You're in mortal danger, but you're protected now. My grandma is into warding off what she believes to be evil spirits. I'm sorry that she startled you. The cleanse tag makes it slightly less likely that you will run into wild Pokemon if the lead Pokemon in your party is holding it. It's not as effective as a repel, but it does help some. I'm going to come through the underground tunnel because there are items. There's also one person down here, and we will talk to him as well, but I'm going to get the items first, and then I'll come back to talk to him. Go down one more space. Okay. Don't be afraid, I'm not a bad person. A place like this attracts mean people. They would eventually cause trouble. It makes me mad just thinking about it. Ah, that's a Rage candy bar. Can I have it, please? How upsetting. This is so good. Ah, makes me mad. Ah, phew, I'm feeling much better. Thank you for your candy. I want you to have this. Obtain the TM64. TM64 contains tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick. Kaboom! It's explosion. Just to show you. Explosion. I put my hand up because I didn't want to peek the microphone. But yeah, higher than I usually do. I put one of the tags for my streams as chill, and I feel like if I were the sort of person to regularly peek the microphone, I would not categorize that as chill. Try to keep things on the more mellow side here. Speaking of mellow, that guy had a slack off. I consider the sloth to be my spirit animal. I used to have a magnet over here that perfectly demonstrated how I feel about the sloth. But I think I had to move the magnet at some point when that refrigerator broke, and so I don't use it anymore. They have these girls have Plusle and Minun from Hoenn region. They are made to go together. They are electric types. They always hit thunder for some reason. I don't know why, but it never seems to miss when they use it. They are intended for double battles. Their strengths play off of each other, including their abilities. But Plusle and Minun are not terribly powerful Pokemon. Someone followed me. Oh, I got the subscription notification long before my chat software gave me the notification. So thank you again for the subscription. I appreciate it. Well, I can't read the language, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. Yes, it is the same name. I can read more than one alphabet, but that is not one of them. I just said Silverwind. Uh, it is the bug type version of a move like Ancient Power that can sometimes raise all of your stats. So I decided to continue a little bit longer. I made it back to Vermilion City. So we're where we started this stream. I think I know exactly what my new goal will be. So because most of the uh, routes in Kanto are open, we do not have to go through Rock Tunnel to get to uh, Lavender Town. But there are trainers along the route that I have not yet battled. So let us finish clearing out this area. And then next time I will be on the other side of Rock Tunnel and I will take out the trainers on the little route between it and Lavender Town and continue on from there. And we'll probably start battling gym battles next time. Start battling gym leaders next time as well. Since I will know what Pokemon I want to raise, there will be no reason to not get their experience. Alright, player defeated Picnicker and Edna. And I know that there are items on this route, but I don't remember how many of them are hidden. This guy you only have to battle if you're going back to Cerulean and are not flying. He's got a Dugtrio. Dig it dig, dig it dig. Trio, trio, trio. I love the early anime. Basically anything before Hoenn, I loved. And not just because of the voice changes. I had some additional issues with Hoenn. I mean, I did watch some of it recently because Pokemon puts a lot of the anime on their YouTube page for free, and I enjoy that. They also had it on their website for a while, but they took most of it off of there. Actually, the best day ever was when they added the first movie to their channel because I had been watching through the entire series and got to the point in the continuity where the movie was, but there was nowhere to watch it at that time. Now there are plenty of places to watch it, but of course, watch it officially if you can. We got, well, Onyx does not resist pursuit, at least. Steelix is one of the best curse users out there, because it's already slow and already has high defense. But Onyx is fast, so I don't like having curse on it. I like to use curse on Pokemon that are already slow, like Steelix or Slowpoke or Snorlax. Snorlax with curse is an absolute monster. I don't care if the metagame moved on from it after Generation 3, I will still use a Snorlax with curse at any possible opportunity. Let's get off the bike again so that I can actually get around this guy. And there's this trainer who I've avoided every time. Skiploom will get absolutely decimated by a drill peck. And yes, I mean that literally. Drill peck will tear it into 10 pieces, which is what decimate originally meant. Grass resists, but flying is weak, so Thunderbolt is neutral. Pinker Heidi has been defeated. And that is every trainer on this route. That didn't take as long as I thought it would. I think I should do a couple more trainers. I figure I should go at least 3 hours. Especially since I changed up my schedule a little bit and haven't done Pokemon in a while. My current schedule does not have me streaming on Wednesdays anymore. Or at least provisionally. Uh, I was planning on working on Wednesdays instead of Thursdays to see if Wednesdays had a higher volume of orders. Yeah, it did not work out that way this week, but it could have been a glitch. So I'll try again next week. Rock Tunnel you need Flash for. I don't want Flash. I don't want to go through a cave, so I'm just going to fly over to Lavender. So if Wednesday turns out to be better than Thursday for working, I would stream on Thursdays instead of Wednesdays. That would maybe change my schedule a little bit. I wouldn't want to do Tuesday and Saturday Stardew and have back-to-back days of HeartGold, but we'll see how work goes this coming week and adjust the schedule accordingly. I worked yesterday even though I worked on Wednesday because Wednesday was so bad. I wanted to see if I could earn a little more yesterday. And I did. Not a lot more, but some more. With strength there, you can get the TM for rock polish. We've seen that move multiple times, mostly used by rock types. It boosts their speed. Here's Quagsire, which is the one water type Pokemon that uh, Electrode would not destroy because it's part ground type too. I almost always have an electric type Pokemon on my team because I use Jolteon every chance I'm given. But I rarely have a grass type, so Quagsire kind of ruins my day. And I never seem to get grass type hidden power. I know it's a decent one to have. I just haven't gotten lucky enough to actually have it. Speaking of hidden power, we'll be able to find out what hidden power our Pokemon would have very soon. There is a... Ooh, I want to watch that video. There is a character in Celadon who uh, can look at your Pokemon and tell you what hidden powers, what type their hidden power would be. Which means at this point, once you've reached Celadon City, if you want to calculate the IVs of a Pokemon, you now have all the tools you need if you have a calculator. There's the Judge in the Battle Frontier, which we haven't been to yet, but he tells you a range of your total combined IVs and which one is highest, and a range for that stat. And then you have their nature, you have their characteristic on the status screen. You have the guy who tells you what their hidden power is. IVs determine your hidden power. So if you punch all of that into a calculator, you can get a pretty good idea of what your IVs are. Now, I don't have to do that because the IVs of in-game trade Pokemon are fixed, so I already know what all of them are. But in a typical playthrough, you would not necessarily know all of your IVs and may be interested in checking that. I mean, as far as in-game goes, it really doesn't matter too much what your IVs are. You're going to beat the game anyway. But if you want to do like a lot of the Battle Frontier, or you have nearby people who you can still battle with and you want to stomp them. And now I'm the one talking about stomping people. Uh, then in those cases you may want to check your IVs. Though in a lot of cases, even for the Battle Frontier, EV training will be sufficient. You don't necessarily need to like breed for better IVs. The only time I've ever done that for a full team was in Pokemon Y, and that's because they added several ways to make it a little bit easier. But it's nice when you have an entire team of 6 where any one of them can solo the entire Elite Four. There's another double battle, another young couple, Mo and Lulu. So we got Rocky and Muscle. I'm going to take out the Lotad first, I think. It's dual type, and both of its types are 4 times super effective against Rocky. Seedot is only grass, so it evolves into a grass dark type, which is just a awesome typing. Ooh, eek. The young couple was loaded. Got over 5,000 from that. Alright, we got Grimer now. I'll just continue using Headbutt. It's using Acid Armor to make this battle take longer. But I got a crit, so haha. Joke's on you. Now we got Mook. I will try a Stone Edge. I've only got the one left, but Mook is tanky, and I want to deal a lot of damage. It's Screech Mist because that's just what Screech does. I've lowered his speed. I take a very weak Sludge Bomb. Thankfully I wasn't poisoned. And Onyx managed to make it through a trainer all on his own. We have one more small group of trainers to battle. There's the TM for Torment here. It either prevents you from using an item or prevents you from using the same move 2 times in a row. Enrages the foe, making it incapable of using the same move twice in a row. If you use that on a Pokemon with a choice item, there's nothing they can do. So we've got coughing now, and as we've already discussed, the coughing and wheezing line has respectable physical defense. So Onyx will have some difficulty with taking them out, but it just leveled up, so it doesn't matter anymore anyway. We're moving on to the next Pokemon, which is Machamp, which also uses physical moves, but it has like double the attack of Onyx. Is it even only double, or is it more than that? 205, 84, yeah, it's more than double. It's using Gyro Ball, which does damage based on the difference between your speeds. I am faster than the coughing, but not terribly fast, so it doesn't do a whole lot. Plus, it's Steel type, and I resist that. The cops shut down our underground path. That really annoys me. So the underground path north and south between Cerulean and Vermilion is still open, but the east-west one between Lavender and Celadon has been shut down. I did not switch out Pokemon, so Onyx is still out front. But fortunately, it can do some decent damage to a Flareon. Rock Tomb was still not quite enough to one-shot it, but it got close. And Flareon is the only Pokemon that Biker Harris has. By the way, we got a number of, a few trainers' numbers from thus far. A couple bug catchers outside of Viridian Forest. If you're looking to make sure that you have people to battle no matter what time it is, the remaining areas you want to go to are Cycling Road. There's several on there. And then there are 4 trainers. Now, there are 7 trainers between Lavender and Fuchsia on the Silence Bridge Pass that have uh, numbers you can get. But at this point, Cycling Road and Silence Bridge are the only places that have further trainers you can rematch. There are none in the water between Fuchsia and Cinnabar and Pallet Town. So if you're looking for more people to rematch, those are the places you need to check. Also worth noting, because I didn't, uh, the times when people's teams level up, their rematch teams, there was the one immediately after the radio tower. The next one is upon beating the Elite Four. So everyone who I've rematched previously would have a stronger team now. You do have to battle each of their teams sequentially. So if there's someone who I did not rematch after Radio Tower, if I rematch them now, I would have to face that second team before I could face the third team. They also get one last team upgrade after receiving the Earth Badge. But at that point, how many regular trainers... At this point, at the point I'm currently at, I typically wouldn't rematch regular trainers anyway. And then at that point, once you've gotten all 16 badges, you should be getting any additional experience you need other ways. Either gym leader rematches or Elite Four rematches. I will pop into this one last route. There are no trainers on Route 7 in this game. Actually, I would have to check about Let's Go, but as far as I'm aware, there have never been trainers on Route 7. But Let's Go is weird and puts trainers in places where there never were any before. I will say that the spell tag item is available in Celadon City. You can only get it at night. So since it is daytime now, I won't be able to actually get it, but I can show you where it is. There's a mental herb back here uh, that snaps you out of infatuation, but it can only be used once. I also got a bit ago the blue flute in the Viridian Forest. It lets you wake up a Pokemon, and like the red flute, it can be used an infinite number of times. So if you have any awakenings, you don't need them anymore. You can just use the blue flute. Alright, I will come in here. The There is another game corner here in Celadon City. It used to be run by Team Rocket, but it has been renovated since then. Like the one in Goldenrod, all you can do is play Voltorb Flip. You cannot do anything else. Because the gym in Celadon only allows girls in, typically, the guy who stands at gyms and talks to you is there instead. This is the guy who tells you about hidden power. Since you know the IVs of these Pokemon, you would also know what their hidden power is. But just to show you, Machamp would have a Psychic type hidden power. Onix would have a Dragon type hidden power. It already learned Dragon Breath, so that's not too exciting. Dodrio would have Ice, that's pretty cool. And Electrode would have also Dragon. The prizes here in Celadon, you can get Endure, Double Team, Hidden Power, Psychic, Gyro Ball, or Giga Impact. The held items you can get are the same as they are in Goldenrod, and the Pokemon you can get here are Mr. Mime, Eevee, and Porygon. There is not an in-game trade for Mr. Mime in Generation 4, so you have to get it here instead. Porygon has always been kind of a game corner thing, and this just gives you a way to get more Eevee if you don't want to breed 100 of them like I usually do. Back here is the TM67 for Recycle. Recycle sometimes lets you reuse a held item. The user recycles a single-use item that has been used in battle so it can be used again. So if you perchance like to use white herbs for the moves that drop your special attack sharply afterwards, you can use Recycle to get that white herb back. The last thing I will do today is I will show you where the spell tag will be. If you come in this elevator, which is for Game Freak only, this is not one of the games where you can battle Shigeki over and over again. This is the wrong side. There's a person up here, but I can't get to the building I'm trying to get into. There are some things you can get from the Game Freak employees here, but for the most part, One of them you can get after getting the Earth Badge. One of them you is the diploma you get for filling the Pokedex. We will not be filling the Pokedex in this playthrough. To get to the other side of the roof, you have to come up the stairs here, and then there's another elevator that you can take. It does show you the other elevator on this floor, but it doesn't stop on this floor, so there's a sign on it instead. You arrived at the roof, and if you come inside this building, and it's nighttime, this guy will tell you a story. Now, the sun is already started to set, but he won't tell me the story now. But, as I said, he will give you the spell tag if it's after night, boosts the power of ghost type moves by 20%. And that is going to be it for today's stream. If you watched live on YouTube or Twitch, whether you chatted or lurked, I appreciate you. If you are watching the archive later on YouTube, thank you for checking it out. I hope that however your day is going is progressing favorably for you, and I will see you in the next one.